Hello, and welcome to another episode of the High Council Podcast. I am indeed your host, Furlow, the man by many names, and today we have one official member of the High Council Podcast. We got Vector Boo.
Yes, hello, everyone. Glad to be back again.
Fucking brilliant, amazing. And then we have a special guest. I believe this is not your first time being here, if I'm not mistaken. We got Gorm.
What is up, everybody? It's Gorm.
It's fucking Gorm, dude. Let's fucking go. All right, and today we have a topic that actually I did not tell you this, Vector, but it is actually a topic I have had requested before. Or not necessarily specifically a topic, but the brand surrounding the topic, right? Today,
Interesting.
we're talking about our favorite Disney villains, and talking about Disney in general is actually something that we've gotten requests to do before. Mostly like talking about how dumb they are in terms of Star Wars, and literally some people just want us to rant, but also some people are like, hey,
Oh
yo,
my God.
and some people are like, hey yo, like Disney, they're like kind of like cool. Can you like talk about them in some way, shape, or form? Whether you talk about Mickey Mouse or talk about fucking Star Wars, I don't give a fuck. I just want you to talk about Disney. And so here we are talking about Disney. Vector is the one that has enlightened us with this topic. We're only 3 members today, so this might be a shorter podcast, but still, we have a very nice little topic today that we can talk about. We could probably discuss. Might get into some heated arguments. I hope not, because this is a very nice topic to just sit and chill and talk about. But knowing how me and Vector can be, or me and Gorm, or just us 3 in general, you know, it could end up being heated. But you never know. We'll figure that out as we go along. But alright. So now, how do we're classing it as favorite, not best, just to clear that off right away. But usually, with us guys, it usually ends up being the same thing. So your favorite is probably the one that you think is just like the best villain as well. Let's just all agree that Gaston is not on the table, right?
Absolutely not. Not even considered.
He's not a favorite. He's not a good. He's just a dumb bastard who's like,
Bad villain.
he's just bad. He's just fucking bad in all ways, shape, or form.
Not good.
He's not good in any
Not a
way.
good villain.
So we're just not going to talk about him. Gorm tried looking at some lists earlier to see who are the people thinking, or like the quote unquote professionals thinking are the best, and we realized that we cannot trust anyone in this galaxy because Gaston was top 5 all times, I believe. And like,
Yeah,
and
That's a crime against humanity.
I swear Jafar was like 11 or some shit at one of them. But
Yeah,
anyways,
Jafar was on the bottom of a Screen Rant list,
yeah,
and you can never,
yeah.
ever in your life trust anything Screen Rant says.
And
ever.
they had Gaston at number 6.
Yeah, how the hell you have Gaston above Jafar?
He
Wow.
is.
you know, I
His
really,
entire character is just he's a douchebag. That's all he is. That's not a good villain.
I hope someone's watching this now and Gaston is their favorite villain, and they're actually realizing something about themselves, and that is that their choice was stupid.
We are trying to help you. Please seek help.
Bro, if
Gaston
you-
is
if-
not
if-
a good villain.
If you relate to Gaston on any level, seek immediate therapeutic help.
Liking him is liking him is one thing. If you relate to him, you need therapy.
Yeah, please.
It's like I would kill this guy because I have a slight crush on this one girl. All right, so now Vector, since you're the one who
Yes.
brought the topic to the table, obviously as we call all this stuff is the table. Since you brought it to the table,
Absolutely.
why don't you start with who is thy favorite ever Disney villain?
I'm so glad you asked. And once again, I'd like to give a huge shout out to the High Council podcast and everything we do. I love being over here. I love talking about shit like this. But my favorite of all time Disney villains is Minister Frollo. Now, this might not come as a shock to anybody,
Jesus.
as Minister Frollo is one of the most devious, evil people to ever be written in Disney. Some of the parts where, honestly, I'm really half surprised that he even made it in a Disney film by how bad this man is.
But it's Disney,
This
so
man,
you never know.
yeah, this man literally had a genocide against gypsies. He was borderline. He was just not nice to women. I don't want to say the full word because I don't want to get your stream messed up.
No, like
And this man,
you could probably say it might just be that Spotify takes away our money.
yeah, I won't say it, but he was just not nice to women in any way, shape, or form. He was very egotistical. He was very power hungry. He used biblical texts to get himself into a higher position of authority so that he could demean people and do what he wants.
Yeah.
Like, I can't, like, this man is literally the embodiment of an evil human being. This man burnt down half of Paris looking for one girl he had a crush on.
Yep.
A bitter old man trying to kill off millions of people
he's
just
like,
to get Esmeralda.
He's like Gaston, but just more interesting.
Like, literally the better Gaston.
Yeah.
Like, I can't. And he has the best Disney villain song, Hellfire, to ever be released. No cap. I don't want to hear any arguments in the chat. It's the best. Shut up. I don't care.
But I mean,
you ever hear? Because there's this guy. He does like covers, like metal covers, and he's done a couple Disney ones. His Jonathan Young, if you've ever heard of him.
Yes, I have. A friend linked me him once.
His cover of Hellfire, flawless.
Jesus. All
right. Y'all should listen to it. Jonathan Young. It's on Spotify if you look it up.
So everyone, search up Jonathan Young, show him some fucking support, and listen to Hellfire. I mean, but
really not sponsored, by the way.
Yeah, not sponsored. Obviously, like he's not paying us shit for this. He's not giving us his music, even though.
Yeah, I just like that song very much.
Yeah, but if you go over there, just tell him that you came from this podcast, and see if you might hit me up on like Instagram or some shit. That would be awesome.
might get a 3-year 100K contract, you know.
Yeah, or it's like I can use his music for anything. That would actually be cool. But all right. Now, one thing that I will say is about Hellfire is, I mean, there are some good villain songs out there, dude. There's some villains that have pretty good music.
Hellfire is the best.
Subjective. I agree that it's definitely up there, but I'm not sure if it's my favorite. But you know, like Scars is pretty good.
Yeah, Be Prepared is like.
It's.
We'll talk about Scar later. We'll save him for a little bit later, obviously.
Right. I see what you're getting at. I'm picking up what you're fucking putting down, dude. All right. But yeah, like
got a little wink.
So Frollo, like, get a bit more into like why is Frollo your? Because obviously, like, he's a fucking messed up character. So he's a good villain. That's one thing, but. What is it?
Yeah,
like,
honestly,
I hope you don't relate to him. I hope that's not the reason.
Oh, obviously not. No, I like honestly, our hero Frollo. I mean, our hero Quasimodo is only as good as the villain that he is going up against. And this is someone who has raised him his entire life, spoiled his brain into thinking that he's nobody, that he's nothing, that he's beneath common people, and that he's a monster and no one should love him. Yeah. And to see Quasimodo rise above someone who loved him all his life and killed his mother and spoke bad about his family, saying, oh yeah, they abandoned you on my doorstep and this is how you treat me, just being such a manipulative asshole. And I eat that shit up about just how good of a villain he is, and I do love a good villain.
Yeah, and then he's also got that, doesn't he have like that look when he's like, he lifts his neck, he lifts his head up and just like, you know,
he just kind of like sniffs at you, like, yeah. He just
like that arrogant look he has.
Yeah, just
something that also really makes him a good villain is just the voice actor for him.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
His voice actor is amazing.
Like, dude
really sells it.
nailed that.
But like also, like his motivation being creepy as well.
Just
like,
for lust.
A fucking 80-year-old man wants this 25-year-old woman.
Yeah, I mean,
30.
he's supposed to be like a devoted Catholic, and like even in in the song Hellfire, one of the lines was, wait, let me think of it. He make the devil. Why did he make the devil so much stronger than a man? And he prays for protection from the, because like he mentions that he wants to like kill gypsies because he believed witchcraft and that she has a hold over him. So he's so at the end of it, he succumbs to his lust, and he's like, okay, you will be my wife or you will burn at the stake. And
yeah, come on. And he actually did burn her. This man really went through with it and tried to burn this woman at the stake just because she didn't want to be with him. How much of a bad person do you have to be to victimize an entire group of people for literally one girl and to burn her at the stake and capture and round up all these people for no reason because you have a bias against them?
Yeah. No. Guys. Okay. So now, I obviously I googled this, right? So we all agree that Frollo is probably above the age of 50 at least. I just googled, and obviously this is obviously.
How old is Frollo?
No. I didn't Google Frollo. I googled Esmeralda right now.
Esmeralda. Yeah, how old is Esmeralda? Like 14?
She's 16, dude. That's at least in the original.
We can add the big P to the list of how bad.
That's at least in the original original story. She is 16, and there's no given age in the movie. But the original story, she is 16. So in the movie, there's no given age. But that is
and it's really sad because Quasimodo doesn't get the girl that he wanted and goes after the Captain Phoebus.
Yeah.
Honestly, Quasimodo just gets screwed over in the whole movie. His adoptive father dies. He doesn't get the girl he wants, and he's just sad.
Okay. So Frollo, he's 63, dude. He's 63.
Wow.
And then let's see, is there an age for Esmeralda in the movie as well? Okay, in the movie, apparently she is 28, but she's still 16 in the original story, which is fucked up. But okay, so
that's still not a good gap.
It's not a good gap, but it's at least acceptable within the range of anything.
Ooh, yeah.
It is legal, is what he's saying.
It's legal. It's legal.
That's still creepy.
She's still. The most important thing to know is that they made her legal in the movie, because if they would have stuck with 16, I get it. It was 1923 or 24 or 25 or whatever the fuck it was, but it would still have been a fucking issue.
It is very unfortunate they didn't do that in earlier Disney movies, like with Snow White.
Snow White.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because they didn't change the age for that, did they?
Snow White was 14. I think she's the youngest Disney princess, if I'm not mistaken.
No, but you know another thing that's fucked up about that is like all the Disney movies are based on like original stories, right?
Yeah.
And
I'm sorry. No, Pocahontas in the age.
Yeah, Pocahontas.
She was like
Pocahontas is fucked up.
She was like 15 or 14 too. Maybe 12. I think she was 12.
No. She wasn't that young. She was a bit older, but I think she was 16.
I'm talking about in the original story, not in the Disney one.
No, but
in the original story,
I think she is like 16 or something. But it is still fucked up.
I know people were pissed about when Disney made that movie because like it was based on a real story, and people were pissed that they did that.
But okay,
try to make them look good. Pocahontas got screwed over. She died at like 28.
Yeah,
they like glorified her story to be like this happy,
No.
Just like, a happy Disney movie, but the actual story, which happened in real life, is like, not so good.
Yeah,
It's literally
but, like,
terrible. She died she died in her early to late 20s.
but
she got snatched up from her home village to live in England.
back in that day, that wasn't like, I'm not saying that was.
I mean,
That's
not good,
that's
but most
like
people died
dying.
in their
That's
30s.
like dying as in the age of like 40, 50 now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
So like
she
it's
was
young,
living in
but it's
her
not
prime.
too young. Yeah, but
That was
okay,
so messed
now
up.
about like the Snow White thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, honestly, it's acceptable that she's 28
No, but
in
like
the film, but it still doesn't make it any better.
I'm about to fuck up some childhoods with the Snow White thing.
No, please don't. Please, God, don't.
How do we feel about a 7 dwarf orgy?
No, you did not.
Stephen King did that in It. I will not elaborate further.
Yeah, that's the original
It will not elaborate further.
But that's only. But no, the issue there though, like the thing about the Stephen King It is it's only the 5 or 6 kids. They're doing it with each other.
14 years old.
But they are all the same age doing it with each other, whilst here it's 7 dwarves who are probably fucking 150, dude, with a 16-year-old.
It was a middle schooler gangbang. Stop trying to justify it.
You cannot.
No. But like that's not illegal.
The will of a turtle.
Yeah, but like my point is like I'm not fucking justifying that he put that in. What I'm saying is that's legal, and isn't.
That's so messed up.
It ain't legal.
No. Okay, I guess this sounds fucking up, but my point is it's not as fucked up as 7 fucking dwarves and a fucking young girl. You know what I mean?
Okay, it isn't as fucked up, but they're
both fucked up. But like it's the It thing isn't as fucked up. That's my fucking point. I messed up my words there.
It is messed up, but yeah, I guess I could see that.
Like they're 2 very different conversations. You know what I mean?
All right. I think we should go back to talking about Disney villains before we all get arrested.
Yeah, we all get a fucking warrant written out for us. Jesus.
Yeah. So in my opinion, Minister Frollo is my favorite Disney villain because I think he's the best Disney villain, considering all the motives that he had for being evil and all the evil and heinous acts that he committed. Yeah. But he did get to die in a very cool way where he did get to see hell and burn. So,
he like when his death falling into that fire was like literally symbolism of him going to hell.
Yeah. So that makes it good for me.
So while I was doing like minor research on like some of these villains, mainly Frollo, is like something that was brought up is the fact that Frollo is a direct counterpart to Quasimodo. So
yes.
Quasimodo is like horrifically ugly on the outside, but pure-hearted on the inside.
Yeah.
And Frollo is horrifically ugly on the inside. And I don't want to say he was purely good on the outside, but let's be honest, that man had some drip. So
you talking about the robes? The man had drip.
Bro, that man has some drip, okay? Like,
and he was very rich, dude. Did you see all like the jewels that he had on his fingers?
Yeah, see, this man
with his red and black fucking cape, dude. He looks like a fucking inquisitor, dude.
Dude, that man had money.
He looks like
Minister Frollo
looks like.
Do you know what I didn't get to see? Or talk about his horse. Did you see how massive and terrifying that horse was when he was chasing down those people? That thing was bred to be evil.
I've seen bigger. That's what she said. But
oh my god, shut up, Flair.
I've seen bigger IRL.
Oh my god.
Again, that's what she, no,
everything about Frollo is just bad.
Oh wait, guys. I'm gonna put a photo on the table. It's essentially a data animated Frollo. It's one of the ugliest things I've seen, dude.
What is it?
What?
It's a data animated image of Frollo.
Data.
What does that mean?
Where is it? Where is this at?
Computer animated. I put it on the table. All right, now it's loading.
Okay, there it is.
That is horrific.
That is absolutely
yo.
fucking horrible.
Yo.
Look at that man's nose.
Dude looks like he was from Star Wars Rebels.
Nah, Star Wars Rebels look better. He looks like the father, Vector's father in Despicable Me, but
Just
skinny. He's like the slim version, bro.
yeah, not my body.
I'm not gonna lie, I thought you were talking about our Vector for a hot second.
No. Yeah,
Yes, he means the one from the movie, not me.
Vector, I know you. Vector,
Who is both direction and magnitude? Yes.
Vector, I know you haven't met him, but that is your father.
Well, I can't make that joke on live air. Okay,
Okay.
I can't make that joke.
Jesus. All right. But okay. So he's a very complex character. His motivations are well, not good, but like for a villain, they're like good motivations to drive him forward from a viewer's perspective. He's got drip. I'll say pretty solid fucking reasons for him being your favorite Disney villain, dude. And obviously he is a solid villain. Other than the pedophilia stuff, it's pretty good.
That does make him a good villain.
No, he's got a point. But this is let's leave that subject dead. Considering I think
Frollo was in the Hellfire.
Me fucking up with my words and not saying what I meant to say, but saying something completely different.
Honestly, we're probably all going to jail anyway, so might as well just send it.
No, I've sent it enough.
We all got put on a list.
Yeah,
we're all actively put on a list right now.
It's like my FBI agent who's just chilling because like I never do anything wrong. All of a sudden he's just like, hold on, what the fuck? I gotta wake up now. What the hell is going on? What are you doing, dude?
That man's got red alarm.
Dude's listening to the podcast. He just spit his $1 McDonald's coffee all over his monitor.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is this guy doing?
He's like, no, you're ruining.
He's never said this before.
He's like, you're ruining your entire fucking reputation in this fucking place. What the fuck are you doing? Jesus.
Just shut up.
All right. Should we just drop the Disney topic and talk about FBI agents? Okay. Now he's like, oh shit, no, what is going on now?
Like Wool turns the camera slowly.
Yeah, he's like, oh no. But okay, fucking let's switch it up now. Okay, so we all agree that he's a pretty fucking good villain. He's definitely up there for all of us, I would say. I don't think any of us disagree.
Yeah, he's one of the villains that is evil just because they're evil, but it's still done right.
Yeah,
exactly. Could not have said that better myself.
Because there are plenty of villains that are just evil for the sake of evil and are just dog shit. But yeah. Frollo, he's actually a good villain, even though he doesn't have like any redeeming qualities of being.
He has
an actual...
no, except for the fact that he saved Quasimodo out of guilt. That is literally the only good thing he's done.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure that anything about guilt, I think all that went away real fucking quick, dude.
But still, like, he did save an innocent life, even if it was out of being judged by the god that he served.
But that innocent life wouldn't need saving if he didn't kill his mother in the beginning of the movie.
You know what? I am trying to find some justification.
There's no need. There's no
need. You're not supposed to be able to justify any of his actions. He's made to be pure evil because before Hunchback of Notre Dame came out, or Notre Dame, I don't know how they pronounce it, so I'm saying Notre Dame.
It's Notre Dame.
Like, because people were seeing villains as, like, evil is cool. Like we'll talk about him later, Scar. People love Scar because villainy is cool. And there's a bunch of other villains that people think are cool even because they're villains. So Disney created Frollo to basically be like, hey, look, evil people are not cool. So here is like the most despicable person we could come up with.
Yeah.
And yet now we're glorifying him as being a good villain. So they failed.
Yeah.
I just put the fucking, for those of you who are watching the YouTube video and not listening to the audio version, I just put the image of Frollo up on screen just so that people can see the beauty of this horrific fucking animated picture.
They tried
Disgusting.
making a horrific villain, but they gave him drip and the best song in the entire movie, and then you know.
No, I just put up the one that I put on the table. But
Yeah.
Everybody must see the horrors that we have seen.
But of course,
If we must suffer, so will you.
So
Yeah, who's next?
next I would put Gorm up, considering that I'm the one like doing all the stuff. So
Well, we already know who Gorm's gonna talk about because he said the name twice. Jesus.
Who he is gonna pick.
I'm not going to talk about Scar.
Okay.
I'm going to talk. So are we including Pixar?
Yeah.
Since
Wait,
Pixar, okay.
are we?
It's gonna be the guy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. We already know. Okay. Yeah. Gorm, bring it on. Me and Vector already know who you're gonna talk about.
I think two of the best villains in all of Disney, including Pixar, are Stinky Pete and Lotso Bear from Toy Story 2 and 3, respectively. Okay, I think
we literally, me and Vector literally discussed this before you hopped.
I literally told you guys I was going to talk about it in the podcast.
But did you tell us? You didn't tell us those two.
I specifically said Stinky Pete and Lotso.
There I see you. There
we're
I see
stupid.
What the
Never
hell?
mind.
Wait, Vector,
I could see how Lotso. Honestly, I would put Lotso above that, considering like
Lotso is definitely better than Stinky Pete, but Pete did have a good villain thing.
Oh, dude, he was tragic. Dude, Stinky Pete was tragic as fuck in his movie. On a dime store shelf, watching every other toy go by. That is so sad, bro. That man was left on a counter.
Lotso is even like it's the.
Lotso's a creep.
It kind of plays on the thing. I mean, I kind of parallel to them. It's like the phrase, "It's better to be loved than lost than never to be loved at all."
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's exactly what they say.
But like in their case, it was the opposite because Pete was never. He wasn't loved by a child so he tried to kidnap Woody and force him into a museum.
I'm sorry. I just saw a Screen Rant title, which was "Every Toy Story villain was right, and that's the point."
What the fuck was Sid right about? He was a mentally ill child who blew up.
He's right, because the toys are meant to play with, so you should be able to do what you want with them. Torture them and fuck them around and stuff.
That is so wrong.
It's not even being like Sid. It was Pixar's first movie, so you can't really blame them for not having a good villain.
Yeah.
But Sid was literally just a
psychopath.
Yeah.
He was not even a psychopath. I mean, to the toys, it looked like he was a serial killer, but to him, they're literally just toys. They're plastic figures made from machines that have no life or feeling.
I would say, for example, with Stinky
how could he
Pete,
know that they were
Lotso,
alive until they showed themselves? That's why he crapped his pants that hard.
I would say,
they turned around on him.
Stinky Pete and Lotso both have, I guess, logic behind their thinking, so they're kind of right in some way. But Sid, he just tortures the fucking things, dude. They
actually did a Star Wars reference. They did a Star Wars reference to Woody whenever he's like, "Where's the rebel base? Talk!" And he burns that hole in him. That's a Star Wars reference from Empire Strikes Back.
The entirety of Lightyear and Emperor Zurg is another Star Wars reference in its entirety.
Yeah.
So
that's literally just Star Wars. It's just fucking Luke and Vader.
Man is literally Zurg is literally his. They literally have the "I am your father," and then he screams "No," falling down a shaft. It's literally
anyway, Star Wars.
But what was I? I'm not even going to talk about any of the villains in the fourth one because I have not seen the fourth one and I refuse to see the fourth one out of principle.
Yeah, same.
The third one had. I know people say is the fourth one gives Woody his happy ending. Is bro, I don't care. I had the happy ending in season 3 in the third one. And everybody was happy. Woody was like, "Wow, we have a new owner."
Andy is the happy ending for us. The fourth one is the opposite, because we don't want to give away our fucking toys. So the
No,
happy ending is for Andy because of the fact that he's letting go, and he's going to college, and he's
honestly,
doing
they
something with
should
his
have
life.
never.
But episode 4,
They honestly should not have made another fourth one, even though I
Yeah.
did see it.
well,
And they rehashed the same thing we already saw with another villain.
yeah,
They literally did number 3 again. It's just the toy is older and she's malfunctioning and she wants to relive her heyday. So they really rehashed
Great
the same
telephone
thing we've already seen before.
right.
Like they just
Like,
combined
that-
the
another
stories
reason
of
is,
Lotso
like-
and Stinky Pete.
Like another reason is the fact, like, you know, like how I said, like number 3 is kind of our happy ending with like Andy letting go and all that. Episode 4 is just gonna, or the fourth one, to me, if I ever watch it, it's just gonna be like the worst thing ever, and that is seeing someone else using your stuff, someone else playing with your toys.
Well, the worst thing
'Cause
about
for us,
it is
we're
that
Andy.
The kid didn't even like Woody. The kid didn't even like Woody, so it made it worse for him. Like I was genuinely upset seeing that Woody just was getting no attention at all.
He got sidelined by a freaking spork.
Yeah, like come on, like this is Woody.
Yeah,
Can I just say,
Imagine
Spork,
Andy-
best miniseries on fucking Disney Plus, dude, is like Sporky has a question. That's amazing.
Imagine Andy goes back and he's like, "Hey, I just wanted to check on my old toys." Wait, where's Woody?
Like, what do you mean? Like, who's Woody? Like,
What
do you
did
mean?
you- what did you
Woody?
do with
I
them?
made
Wait.
that prize
What do you
possession.
mean? What do you mean? Because, you know, Woody.
Well, actually,
what do you
there
mean?
is a
Woody?
sidebar that
What do you mean you left him at a fair?
No.
the reason so special to Andy is because in the first movie, of course, we never see Andy's father. So the theory is that Woody was the last gift that Andy's father gave him before he went away, and that's why he's so special to him.
Right.
And
That's very interesting.
if that ever held true, I would kick the shit out of any child that lost my father's toy because I thought you would take care of it,
Just go
and now it's
fucking
gone.
yeet.
Dude, I couldn't even tell you how
I'm not-
angry I would be.
All right, I'm about to expose myself a little bit. So, I have the same stuff. Like when I was like a wee lad, like 1 year old or 2 years old, I loved Barney, like the purple dinosaur and all that stuff.
I love you. You love me.
I still have the original stuffed animal that I had of him that I slept with. I held him like growing up as a kid because I was a scared ass kid. If I've ever found out somebody threw him away or trashed him or gave him away, I'm fighting somebody. I don't care. I am a 21-year-old man. If I found out somebody got rid of him or destroyed him, I would fight them. I don't care.
That's how I feel about my father.
His hands on
My
sight.
father gave me special Star Wars toys when I was a child, and I have held on to those toys every single day of my life, and I will continue to. Those were the toys that me and my dad played with when I didn't have an Xbox 360 or anything like that. I didn't have a game system. My dad would actually play with me, and I have kept them in a shoebox, and I will for the rest of my life.
But
because they are that special to me.
That's for me with it's a bit of a different thing, but with I used to play golf with my granddad before he passed away. He passed away when I was 4, but we had this amazing relationship for a fucking 4-year-old to have. And if I ever find out that someone has thrown away the golf set that I play with him, it's in my grandma's garage. So if she ever decides, no, this takes too much space, I'm gonna throw this away, I am fighting her. Genuinely. I think everyone has something from their childhood that they're if anyone does anything to that, if someone even looks at it the wrong way, I am fighting them. And if they're not, if they're not there, I'm fighting someone else. I think
we're getting a bit off topic.
We're very off topic, but it's also on topic.
I'm gonna bring us right back on topic because it kind of makes sense how Lotso would feel as well. We're talking about how he would fight our elderly grandmas if they threw from our childhood. And Lotso, you saw the flashback how much the three of them endured just trying to get back to the house.
Yeah.
And then you go there to find out you've been replaced. Dude,
Oh my god, dude, that would hurt. That'd be like if you left your parents' house for like a week and they didn't find you and they
like
just
no,
replaced
it's
you with
like
another
literally like
you.
if your parents
That's like
left
what
you
that's what it's
at
like
like
having brothers, dude.
like they took you to the park, they forgot about you, and by the time you managed to find your way home, they adopted a new child and were sitting
But, like,
and were playing with them.
That
Like, imagine how
That's
effed
so
that would
hopeful.
be.
well, now I just realized something. That's the freaking concept of boss baby, dude.
Shut up.
That's
God.
literally the concept.
I reject.
He
I
gets
rebuke
the baby
that.
brother. His parents give all the attention to him and forget about the older brother, which is how it felt like for me as well when I got my first brother and then I got my second one. I was like, fuck my life then.
But you didn't get full-on replaced. They just it's addition. It's not. It's addition, not subtraction.
The
you know.
replacement only stopped when they realized that both my brothers are fucking idiots and I'm the only good one. That was when they actually realized that we'll stick to this one. He's better.
I was the replacement for my older brother, and I'm the smart one, and he's the idiot. So they were like, "Damn, we made a good choice on this one."
Yes.
Reproducing made
See,
happy.
my parents were like, it was a mistake. We should have just stayed with one. No, I'm kidding. I love my brothers. I just talk shit about them. But okay.
Yeah, I love him too. He might he'll probably never hear this for as long as he lives. But if you're hearing this,
Send it to him.
Yeah, I'm not gonna send it to him.
Jesus.
He ain't ever gonna find that out.
But yeah, but it's like I think everyone hates the thought of being replaced in any way, shape, or form. That's like the thing about relationships. Like if you see your ex with someone else in any way, like even after a few years, depends on the situation, but it might still sting a little. You know what I mean?
Might sting a little bit.
Like especially like let's say for example, like after you've divorced with someone that you were married to, then all of a sudden, whether it be through love or hate, seeing them with someone else can definitely hurt. You know? Whether it be jealousy that they've moved on, you haven't, or whether it be that you still actually love them, it's gonna hurt, and that's obviously the same thing. In this is like, well, I kind of want to be. Oh, this sounds so fucking wrong, but he wants to be played with by the family that he loves, but they don't give a fuck about him anymore.
Nope, just
Yeah.
threw him out
Now,
and got a new one.
Do I
next
think
day.
that's justification for forming a concentration camp within a daycare? I don't know. But
No, it doesn't justify it. But
no,
no-
that does not justify it.
But like,
did he have the right reasons? Debatable.
No, but like the thing is, you can never justify a villain, but you can understand them, and that's the thing here. We understand his logic. We don't agree with his his doings, but we understand his
With
motives.
his actions.
We understand.
I do think there are definitely some villains that have justifiable actions,
Darth Vader.
but I can't. Well, I mean,
Yeah,
in the
he's talking
original
about
trilogy,
those
Darth Vader is not a Disney villain. We are not talking about him.
I mean, technically,
He's a Disney. No, he was not originally a Disney villain. He was
technically,
He is a Disney villain.
the concept of Darth Vader was not created by Disney. Therefore, he is not a.
Technically, Leia is
Nobody
a Disney
cares,
princess.
technically.
Technically.
On a technicality.
I saw that joke that somebody else was a Disney princess. It was like some weird ass character because Disney bought the company or whatever, and I was like, oh, that's
I don't know,
weird
probably
now.
Marvel or some shit. I don't know. It's like right now,
All right,
technically, The Walking Dead is a fucking Disney show right now because it's on Star.
The Walking.
It's on Star.
But
Anyways, let's get back on this. So
Yeah, anyways.
let's.
We've
spent more time.
Welcome
We've
to the
spent
off-topic
more time.
podcast.
We've spent more time going on tangents than actually talking about Disney
But
villains.
that's what we do here, and then we wheel ourselves back in. All right.
Mhm.
So if you had to pick one out of the two, because they're both from the same series, and they're both.
Lotso. Lotso is easily the
Lotso is
better
definitely
villain.
the better villain.
Yeah.
But Stinky Pete is
But-
they're both good in their own right,
but-
but Lotso is way better.
I think Stinky is a smarter villain.
I think he is too. He played the long game.
He played a long
Dude,
ass game.
Lotso played the long game too. I mean, do y'all think he was a villain
No,
until?
but he didn't play the
Not
long game
as long
because
as
he had
Stinky
all of
Pete
his
was.
fucking
Stinky
friends
Pete
to
was
help
there
him.
during the 60s. He was playing the long game in the 60s.
Well, that wasn't the same Stinky Pete though.
No, but like the thing about Lotso as well is like he wasn't playing it as much, considering the fact that he was having evil meetings with his fucking friends every single fucking day, and they were removing toys all the way through.
Yeah, they
while
were killing
Stinky
all
Pete
toys
was a very
and burning them.
long way.
That you say Stinky Pete was smarter, but literally all he did was just gaslight Jesse and Woody into fighting each other.
No, he did more than that,
really
and he pranked. He was like, "LOL, GG's prank, dude." So
And I think what makes Lotso a better villain is like with Stinky Pete, like it's like that it's shown that he knows what he's doing isn't like right in a way, because like he is, forcing them to do something for his own benefit. But in Toy Story 3, the way Lotso acts, it's implied that what he believes is the right thing. And that he's doing it to he's like lost his way from from his like trauma of being abandoned.
yeah, like that's why he's a better villain. When
Pete is just kind of a selfish asshole mostly.
Well, that's why I'm saying he's not the better villain. He's a smarter villain because of just what he does. But lots of
all he really wanted was for Woody to be a part of the set so that he could feel the love that he would feel from children looking at him through a glass instead of playing with him.
Yeah,
that's the only reason why he wanted Woody.
And that's the tragic irony of his thing, is that his entire trauma came from sitting behind in the box, watching every other toy be sold. And in his words,
guys.
And now he's become a.
You're making me scared of my Star Wars figures that I have on the shelf right now. And
now he's now he's basically forcing Woody to just go back to that same life. Only this time, he's just getting attention.
Yeah.
And then he's bringing everyone else along with him.
Nothing is changing except for the fact that he's getting it.
He's bringing everyone with him down with the ship.
He summing up Stinky Pete in 2 words: attention whore.
Yes.
Fair enough. But he became that from essentially rejection, pretty much. But also, it's like
he said in his words, Stinky Pete became that better because of the space toys coming out around his time in the 60s, leading to all the space toys coming out and them getting played with instead of the old Western toys that he was a part of.
That's why he's also beautiful contrast to
Woody.
And that is because Woody, he was the same thing. He almost got rejected by Andy because of this new space.
Because he was a new space toy.
But the difference is that Woody chose the good route, not the bad route.
Yeah, but let's be honest. Woody straight up tried to kill Buzz at one point.
He did. He did try to murder him.
Didn't he? Yeah.
Like he straight up if anything,
he pushed him out a window and tried
he pushed
to
him
kill
out a window. Yeah, he tried to kill him on multiple occasions.
Yep.
And then he tried to fight him under a semi.
He only regretted his actions when they were in SIDS. There was no hope for rescue, and then Buzz found out he was actually a toy and went through a
midlife crisis at the age of 0.
He went. I wanted to say identity crisis, but I couldn't think of the word. But he went through an identity crisis, and Woody was still there because he realized, he had the epiphany that it doesn't matter if I'm the most played with. It just matters what's better for Andy. So he's like, all right, let's do it.
He's like every 14-year-old nowadays. He's like, oh my god, I'm not so unique as I thought I was.
And then that's what's wrong with Stinky Pete is Woody. I haven't seen the movie in a long time, but I'm pretty sure at one point he was like, "Come with us, we can you could be an actual toy," and he's like, "Nah, I just want the attention."
Yeah.
That's exactly right. That's exactly
why
right,
he
because
is
they
a
went to go
like
save him, and Woody's like, "Nah, Andy's gonna grow up. He won't need me anymore. I can be adored by millions of kids everywhere." Because Woody was really selfish in that time. He was super selfish because he
yeah.
found out how famous he was, and he thought, "Why should I be enjoyed by just Andy? Because Andy's gonna grow up, and I'm gonna get lost anyway.
Which
So I might as well just stay somewhere where I'm gonna
which
be loved forever."
which then is a contrast in episode 4 is in the fourth movie where they don't give a fuck about him after he's been passed on by Andy.
Nope, they threw him away the minute one of that movie.
Andy comes back. Like, that's one of the great things about the Toy Story movies that people don't really pick up on that much unless you actually invest a bit of time into it, is all the callbacks and fucking roulettes that go on. You have Buzz Lightyear with everything with like him realizing that with the space toys and all that stuff, and that's relatable to Woody. But Woody took the smart route, and he became friends with him after obviously a bit of fighting first. But he did that. Then you have like him being selfish towards like, oh, any other kid's gonna love me, but then Andy and whatever the fuck, and then that comes back in the fourth movie, and like things go full circle here, dude, which is pretty good. But I still prefer the first three over the fourth. I haven't even seen it yet because I'm on the same page as Gorm. But alright, so you said that you were going for Lotso, right? That's the one that you.
Lotso is the better villain.
Right. Alright, you got any extra points that you want to throw on to why Lotso is so fucking good, dude?
I just think the way he goes about things is just a lot better. Like, he's very calm through what he's doing. And Pete is like that too, but at one point he just like breaks and he's just like, "Man, F this. I'm doing it my way now. You're effed." And and through the entirety of it, Lotso is just he like has his reasons for he's like, he got abandoned, and he's making sure no other toy feels abandoned, but at the same time he's forcing these toys to live basically in toy jail or whatever.
Yeah.
Well, if you think about the psychology of Lotso the bear, think about how he ran the system. He made all the new initiate toys get beat the crap out of by the kindergartners at first to subjugate them. Then he got the gang of the best toys in the kindergarten to gang up and subjugate all the new toys or all the less cool toys to get beat up by the kindergartners, while they got to live it up with the older kids the whole time. So he ran a system of comfort and a pyramid scheme to keep everybody in line. All the new toys and all the toys that couldn't defend themselves, they got chucked in with the bad kids.
Yeah.
Well, all the toys that sided with Lotso to feed his ego and to feed his attention and love that he got abandoned as a child and that got abandoned, he used them to psych himself up. Except that backfired whenever Baby found out that that only Lotso got replaced and Baby didn't.
Yeah.
And he, throughout the majority of the time, he called all the toys like, "We are just trash, waiting to be thrown away." Could you imagine the life cycle that you have to endure to say that your life means nothing and that you're going to die in abandonment anyway, because that's how he felt?
Yeah.
That is such a sad story, and he was willing to damn everybody in the whole Sunnyside daycare to the fate that he already went through, but worse.
Yeah. Like, it is pretty fucking mental, but like that's also like one of the things is like he's clearly adapted that mentality, and that's why he's pushing out everyone else, is because that's what he believes to be true for himself, which is then also just makes his character even more tragic, is the fact that he has instilled, which is actually nowadays a massive issue, is that in himself that he is not worth anything. He's nothing. He's got a facade when he's around everyone else, but he is nothing. He's instilled himself to not being anything. And that is tragic, even in a fucking Disney movie about toys.
And he implied that to everybody else that he was around.
Yeah.
That, oh yeah, you're just garbage. You're gonna burn in a dumpster. You're gonna burn in a trash heap like everybody else, because that's where we all end up, is a trash heap. Because that's what he was telling them while he was getting thrown away. They literally demonized a what's it called? A garbage truck coming down to pick them up and take them to hell. Was this implication that they were like garbage truck was the devil and that they were going to hell and burn in that fire? That is so like underlined and like so like it might not mean much, but whenever you actually look at it, that is so messed up.
That scene where like they have no hope and they just hold hands and wait for
that was
death.
so mature of Disney to do.
I might have only been 8 years old when that happened, but I cried.
Dude, I was 10, bro. That
movie came out that movie came out in 2011.
No, it came out in 2010. Or like it was announced. It came out. What was it, like summer 2011 or some shit? So
I was like,
it was the year I
and it didn't help that and it didn't help that the music was like super epic, where it was like dun dun.
That score is epic. That score is fucking epic.
The embrace. Oh my god.
That score was insane.
I know that scene's been talked about to death. I know people have talked about that scene to death, but people will talk about that scene forever by how impactful that is.
Yeah, and it's also like you got kids that, like, 90s kids, they grew up the same as Andy. Like,
we all grew up with Andy.
Even though, yes, okay, I wasn't even born when the second one came out, but I still also did that. Like, I wasn't as old as him in 2011 when it came out, but it was still like, oh my god, he's older, I'm older, oh my god. And it's like, I think that's also why they did the massive space in between, was like, if you were born in 1990, you would be 5 or 6 whenever the first one came out. Okay, approximately the age of Andy. Then when the next one comes out, let's say you would be, 12, 13, okay, approximately the same as Andy. And then when the third one comes out, you'll be 21 approximately, which is roughly around the same age as Andy as well. So
Andy was 18 when he graduated.
Right. Okay, but so it's roughly around the same age. So you've grown up with Andy, and now you're seeing him leave for college and leave the toys, and then the fourth one comes up and fucks up the whole cycle. But that's a different thing. That's a different story. But the entire thing just going, like, it's actually incredible, and they did it for that reason as well. Was like, okay, grow up with the character.
We're gonna make a generation grow up with us, and they did it perfectly.
Yeah. Jesus. All right. Anything else to throw on that, Gorm?
I think Zurg was a pretty good villain in Toy Story.
No, he's got a point. Yeah, because he's basically Darth Vader, which automatically makes him at least good. All right.
I think it was more of a side villain.
But he's still a villain, you know what I mean? It's like
Zurg was the main villain.
It's like Starscream in Transformers. He's a great villain, but he's a side villain because he's the sidekick of the fucking main villain. Anyways, okay. My favorite ever Disney villain is Bill Nye.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about Bill Nye, and I'm talking about what is essentially the original Thanos, as in the original CGI character that people thought was incredible, and is still incredible looking to this day. I'm talking about Davy Jones.
From Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yep.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
See, I was thinking that we were going to go more on the line of like the 90s. Things like that, but no, you went straight for 2000.
No,
you went straight for the first live.
you
You're
said
the only live action person here. We all have cartoons.
You said favorite Disney villain. He is a Disney villain that came out in 2003, whilst
You're right.
Gorm's
It's funny.
Gorm's villain came out in 2002/2003. No, 2000. So it's 3 years apart.
I mean,
If you're not,
I guess I can allow it.
if you're not happy with it,
I'm not saying I'm not happy with it. I'm just saying how like we all have cartoon characters and then you show up with a live action one.
but I mean, is he not a great Disney villain, dude?
He is. I can't even lie. I can't lie, dude. Davy Jones is the best villain in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. The fact that I've never seen any Pirates of the Caribbean movie, so I'm not even gonna comment on anything y'all say about this guy.
Oh my
Gorm,
God,
I love you, but I
dude.
fucking hate you, dude.
Gorm, I'll give you a fun fact if you didn't know. Pirates of the Caribbean was an original ride based in Disney, and it was one of the best-selling rides at the park. So they decided to make a movie franchise out of it in 2003, with Pirates of the Caribbean: The Black Pearl being one of the first PG-13 Disney movies ever released.
Yep.
Wow.
But okay, you know what? But because we're going that way, I'm gonna go for a different villain, which is, funnily enough, kind of not a villain, but he also is, and that is Denahi or Denai from Brother Bear.
Denahi from Brother Bear.
I fucking love like he's not like an amazing villain, but I love him. He's my favorite. He's probably one of my favorite ones.
You do not know how happy I am that you are giving recognition. Like, Brother Bear is one of my favorite movies of all time.
I fucking love that movie. And
I have watched Brother Bear at least 200 times. I know the movie by heart.
And then, but like
The first 15 minutes of Brother Bear is one of the best animated showings ever, and no one can tell me different. Everything before he turns into the bear.
I have to
amazing.
confirm one thing. Gorm, you've seen Brother Bear, right?
I have seen Brother Bear. Yes, I have.
Thank fuck. If
Dude, you
didn't, I
can't
would
tell
have
me
to
the
fly
scenes where
to
the
you
brothers
and
grow
slap
up
you.
together, and like everything. Honestly, everything before he turns into the bear is amazing and top notch.
But I also love, everything
I like
after.
the story behind Denahi wanting to quote unquote avenge his brother.
Yeah.
Even though he's going to go kill his brother, which he doesn't know yet. But
Yeah.
really, it makes a lot of sense at the fact that
And like I love.
it all comes full circle after that,
And, like-
because he obsesses over killing this bear
Yeah.
because he loved his brother so much.
But like I love Tanana and like her entire thing with like with like she's a bit of like she's got a bit of comedic input, but like her main thing is guiding Kenai as a bear with Coda.
Yeah, Kenai.
And then I mean Rut and Took, they're just the best fucking comedic relief ever. But
I used to do their skit whenever they were talking to Kenai. Whenever they first meet, I used to quote that skit verbatim all the time when I was a child. That's what I used to do to like my teachers when I didn't have anything to do. Is I would do the whole thing.
Yeah.
Because I watched it so much.
And their relationship with
Coda,
Coda, dude, is amazing.
The tree.
Yeah.
You remember when they were on the mammoth thing? I was talking about I spot tree.
Yeah.
We used to do that all the time. That was a big inside joke with my dad. Like
Fucking
every
love
like
that.
family trip we would go to and we didn't know what to do, my dad's like, "Son, I spot something long," and I would just yell "tree," and we would just giggle about that for hours.
Oh, you know what? One villain that I wanna shout out, because this is my two favorite Disney movies ever are Brother Bear and Treasure Island. And now,
Treasure Island. Yes.
now Treasure Island has a fucking great fucking villain.
Honestly, I would have been disappointed if he didn't make it in this podcast.
Wait, are you talking about Treasure?
disappointed.
Are you talking about
Treasure
Treasure Planet?
Treasure Planet.
He's talking about
Treasure
Treasure
Planet.
Planet.
Treasure
Yeah.
Planet.
Okay,
Fuck.
I was gonna, Treasure, dude. The villain of Treasure Planet is okay. Yeah, he's goated. He is a goated
He is
villain.
fucking brilliant.
I'd have been
dude.
disappointed if someone didn't say Treasure
But of
Planet.
course.
I was gonna throw an honorable mentions out to him later on if that wasn't gonna happen.
Yeah.
Which I'll still do. I'll still do honorable mentions. We'll still do honorable mentions after we're done with the mains.
Like, fucking Long John is a fucking legendary villain who, like, with Scroop, like, he seems like the good guy. But then all of a sudden, boom, he is the mastermind fucking bad guy.
Can I tell you guys that I used to have whenever I was little, I used to have nightmares about the spider like crab guy.
Yeah, Scroop.
Whenever he cut like the dude in the black hole.
Yeah,
I used to have nightmares about that scene forever. And I used to have a McDonald's toy about him, but that dude scared the shit out of me when I was a child.
Yeah.
Like I used to have vivid nightmares about getting cut loose into a black hole by that guy forever.
But for me, it was just the scene.
When I first saw that movie, I'm like, there's no way he's actually dead. And then he never came back, and I'm like, oh, they actually killed him.
Oh, yeah, they yeeted his soul out of existence.
Bro, they killed so many people in that movie. I was like, I was surprised.
Yeah.
Like, they killed
I wasn't really too much of a fan of the Doctor and the Captain getting together.
Yeah.
I wasn't really a huge fan of that.
By the way, can I just
say... But the robot, I did like the robot.
But can I just say that Disney popped it off with 3 great movies 3 years in a row. Or 4 if you count Toy Story 2. Because it was Toy Story 2 in 2000. Then in 2001 they come out with Atlantis, which is another great movie. Then in 2002 comes Treasure Planet, and then in 2003 Brother Bear. So they fucking smashed out the park 4 years in a row.
Except 2 of those are really underrated. Brother Bear and Treasure Planet are criminally underrated.
And Treasure Planet is the first movie to mix CGI animation
3D.
and 3D animation
and computer gen, right?
Yeah.
Because like you can't tell me how gorgeous that movie is whenever you're first getting into the crescent moon planet looking thing, and how gorgeous that looks.
I rewatched it during COVID because I was talking to a friend, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And she was like, "I'm watching Treasure Planet on Disney Plus." And I was like, "I haven't watched that. It's fucking great, isn't it?" So we just sat there agreeing on that. It was a favorite Disney movie. But it's fucking amazing. But then again, okay, shout out to Treasure Planet, shout out to fucking Long John Silver there. But back to Brother Bear. His motivations are, they're kind of like basic. He's got basic motivations, but they become.
He's got the most relatable. He has the most relatable.
But
he has the most relatable. What's it called? What is the word I'm looking for?
Motivation.
Yeah, the most relatable motivation to be quote unquote.
He believes he killed both of his that bear killed both of his brothers. So obviously he's gonna go after the bear for revenge.
He also takes partly the blame for it as well. But then the complication gets more difficult because the bear that he's trying to kill is the other one.
With that being his motivation, I wouldn't really consider him a villain. I
would say he's more of an antagonist.
Yeah, but
antagonist, because there is a difference. Because he's not really.
He is always.
He's not really. He's not
trying to.
This is my brother who turned into a bear. I must kill him because he cannot be a bear.
But he doesn't even know that, does he? He doesn't even know that it's his brother. So see that's why it makes it so much more complicated. It's like he's got the most relatable motivations in that. Okay, this thing killed him, but then it makes it more complicated. But then it becomes more complicated because that's his. No worries. But then it makes the situation more complicated because the bear is trying to kill his brother, and then his brother's got the kid of the one that killed them. He's got him with him. So honestly, that makes it even more complicated again. The fact that he's friend with the kid of the bear that killed his brother and almost killed his other brother.
And that he killed.
Bro, that is insane, dude.
But you know what ruined all of it?
What?
Phil Collins. Ruined the emotional scene that was supposed to come with Kenai telling Coda about how he accidentally killed his mother because that bear killed his brother. Just absolutely murdered it with that song. Honestly,
like
Phil
that.
Collins.
Oh yeah.
I liked Phil Collins in Tarzan. I won't even cap with you. Tarzan.
Yeah.
I liked him in Tarzan. I did not like him in freaking Brother Bear, especially in that one scene because I was waiting there as a kid. I was like, oh my god, here comes the big emotional payout. Nothing.
Yeah.
Just freaking Brother Bear. I let you down. Like, what are you doing, man? Let them talk.
I
I
mean,
want to hear the reaction.
But another thing I love about the movie is the fact that we have a young Joaquin Phoenix, dude.
Yeah.
The fact that, you know, Joaquin, what was he then, like 25 or some shit back then?
Shout out to Brother Bear 2 for being another criminally underrated direct-to-DVD sequel.
No, he's got a point. Got a point.
Brother Bear 2 is not criminally underrated. That movie was hot garbage.
No, okay. It wasn't hard. I would say, but I think it was a bit underrated.
Within the first minute, when I heard Kanai's voice,
that is
I
bullshit.
hated the movie.
The fact that Joaquin Phoenix didn't get to come back, that is bullshit.
Say shout out to it, but I haven't seen it in a while. But
well,
I think I remember it all. Like,
not only is his voice so drastically different,
they had Patrick Dempsey or some shit.
Literally sounds like it's a shitty Japanese anime dub, English dub.
Yeah, look,
the story was kind of all right.
I believe they put in Patrick Dempsey instead of Joaquin Phoenix, if I'm not mistaken. Someone else can Google that, but I think it was Patrick Dempsey instead of Joaquin Phoenix.
Well, you know what? As a kid, I liked it. Okay, I did like it as a child.
I think it's the fact that I watched it as a very young teenager is why I noticed why it was so dog shit.
Well, I haven't seen it within like the last 10 years, so maybe I'll go look at it again.
Yeah, it should be on Disney Plus, I'm assuming.
It should be, and I haven't seen that movie since I was like 10, so maybe my judgment was kind of horrible.
In the first 5 minutes, when you hear his voice, you'll be like, "Oh God."
Yeah, but
I'll watch them
back then. Okay, I've only watched the second one. I've only watched that once, and back then I didn't notice it. I didn't take note of it really, but I loved the movie back then.
I wanted him to be happy, damn it.
Yeah,
it wasn't. To be happy.
I hate to say it, but Joaquin Phoenix back then and after wasn't really the reason I loved the movie. I loved the movie because I loved the movie. So I loved the second one just as much. And in my head, I definitely didn't think like this, but if I were to justify it, I would probably have said like, because he's probably older or something. I don't know.
The fact that the Joker of our generation was in a Brother Bear movie is so jarring to think about.
The fact that he is in
one
out of my two favorite ever. Joker. He's in one of my two favorite ever Disney movies, and he's one of my three favorite Jokers ever. Says a bit about what a fucking legend Joaquin Phoenix is.
And he was in what's it called? Fucking Gladiator 2, Joaquin Phoenix.
Yes.
He was what's his name? Commodus. He was Commodus.
Yeah. But like that's another thing.
So
like if we're gonna take the main characters from my two favorite movies, one of them ends up playing the Joker, the other one ends up playing Robin. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is Jim Hawkins' voice in Treasure Planet. So one becomes fucking Joker, the other one sort of becomes Robin. That is actually insane.
In your
your
opinions of your Disney villains, I would say that the Treasure Planet, Silver John, is better than Kenai.
Deny.
I would say that he's a better villain.
Denai. It's a better villain, but I love the antagonist role that Denai has. I think that his antagonist role is better than the villain role that is.
Bro, do you know what scene gets me every time I watch it? And I don't care how emotionally derived I feel, but whenever they're going through like the field that's like all like red and shit, and like you can see the skulls and things. The chase scene between Denahi and Kenai, whenever he jumps over the freaking log, and you can just see how desperate he is to kill him. Just so desperate that he runs and jumps off on the log to try to go up there and kill him. And just for that brief moment, they lock eyes, and Denahi knows that something's up, something's not right with this bear. He can feel it, and then he just falls into the water. And Kenai tries to save him in bear form, and he just watches him fall and thinks that he dies in that water.
The movie
that
is
scene
so
gets
complicated
me every time.
Like, for such a simple movie, in a sense, it's such a complicated,
that
amazing
movie is hot
story.
Garbage, and I can't deny it. But at other times, it really gets me. I've never been so emotionally ranged in a movie before.
Brother Bear isn't hot garbage. It's an amazing movie.
No, I say at times. Like there are just certain parts of it that as I've grown up, I do not like to watch.
But
I don't care about I don't care for the songs of Coda.
But that's Disney in a nutshell. But that doesn't make it hot garbage.
And the other powerful scene I liked is whenever they kind of argue a little bit, and he sees the bear and the man, and you get to see the perspective shift of Kenai looking at the human, thinking the bear is the monster.
Yeah.
While you see Coda looking at the human. Well, looking at the human, thinking that it's the monster, and dude, they're scary. He's like, yeah, they are, and he's like, especially with sticks. And then he's like, what? I'm like, whoa, what? Wait a minute.
That's what makes the story so great. Is
it has so much potential that it could have been way better than what it is.
But for the time, it was an amazing movie. It could be better now, but it was still great back then, and it's still an amazing movie.
The song, what's it called? The scene where they all go in in the lake or in the river, and they're all singing about how much of a big family they are.
Oh yeah, the bears. Yeah,
that song got featured in the Disney park for a long time, and it's the only Brother Bear song to make it in the park.
See that's another thing. That song is not even close to being hot garbage. That song is fucking amazing. That entire scene I love. It just brings me joy. But
there's only just small sections of the movie that could have been cut that really just didn't need to be there, though. That would have made it better, in my opinion.
But it's still
because people associate Brother Bear with being bad, the whole movie. And that's something I don't agree with. There are little portions of it that are not as good as
and also,
they could be.
if you watch it now, being older, you realize how complex the story actually is. It's the night he watches Kenai and Sitka, his two brothers, the older and the younger. He watches both of them.
Sitka's death hurts.
Bro, it fucking hurts, dude. He watches both of these people essentially die, his older and his younger brother. So both his mentor and the person he is essentially mentoring. He loses both, he thinks. He sees them, they die fighting a grizzly bear. Then one of them becomes an eagle spirit. The other one becomes a fucking grizzly bear. And then he goes for a hunt after grizzly bears, meets her, but he doesn't know this. And then his brother has taken in a cub. This cub fucking insanely is the kid of this other bear that they fought and that Kenai killed, that then killed Sitka as well. So Kenai kills Coda's mother, and then he becomes friends with Coda and essentially takes him under his wing. And then Denahi wants to kill both of them because he thinks that they were the ones that killed Sitka and Kenai, but Kenai is one of them. And then Sitka is like,
do you know what you know what the worst part about the whole movie is? That none of this would have happened if Kenai didn't throw that rock at that bear, because that bear was minding its business that you see later.
Yeah.
But he antagonized that bear and started all of this.
But that's also...
So it's actually all of it is Kenai's fault. The whole thing is Kenai's fault, and he feels bad about it.
That's also another thing that makes it more complicated, is that Denahi thinks that it's his fault.
But actually, in reality, it's Kenai's fault.
It's Kenai's fault. But then also, the reason why it would also became a problem, which you then figure out later as well, we didn't know before, is the reason why the bear got so angry is because it had a cub with it, which makes it more protective and fears for its cub. So if it didn't have
she was protecting Coda in that scene.
And if she didn't have a cub, she might have gotten angry, but not that angry because she was trying to defend Coda. But because she had Coda, she defended him even more. And then
She got more angry.
Kenai, who's the reason for all this happening, then later defends Coda and protects him. So like, there's so many parts of this story that is actually so complex that just makes it even more underrated. Because like, if you delve into it, like we literally just did, it is so complicated just to go through. And that also makes Denahi such a great character, is that there's so much going on that he doesn't know about.
We went from Disney villains to discussing the entire movie of Brother Bear.
But welcome to the Off the Rails podcast.
Jesus. So as we were saying, yes, Denahi is a pretty good antagonist.
He's a really good antagonist. And then if I'm gonna just go straight for like going extremely like linear, then my favorite villain is Long John Silver from fucking Treasure Planet, who's a guy who seems like a really nice, great guy who's like being nice.
He's a good father figure.
He's a great father figure, but then he becomes a villain, and he's
teaching Jimbo how to like be like a good guy and like be a man.
Yeah,
and like teaching him how to shave and like put his shoes and crap together. Teaching him morals and values,
but like
only to betray him for the greed that he feels whenever he finds the treasure planet.
But even when he like becomes a villain and not a good guy anymore, even then
he still doesn't want to kill him.
He still doesn't want to kill Jimbo at all, and he's still technically then also still a good father figure. Like, he stays a good figure throughout the entire way. It's just that his motivations become more clear.
Still the villain,
but he's still,
because he actively takes a role.
He's not an antagonist. He is a villain. Yeah, he is a villain, not an antagonist. But he's still a really
hidden villain. You don't suspect him. He's a twist villain, I would say.
He's kind of like, I don't know, who's a fucking, I guess, Thanos. He's like, you don't like what he's doing, but you respect the fuck out of him. He's a great villain that you just respect. You just put some respect on his name, you know?
Jesus. I think now would be a good time to enter the honorable mentions of the people that we could have said but just didn't say.
Oh, but of course.
And for my first honorable mention, I got this because I was asking some people around.
David Jones?
If I didn't choose Frollo, it would have been Hades from Hercules as another of my favorite Disney villains. Even though mythologically, Hades has never really been the villain of any mythological tale, but people just love to rip on Hades because he's just the god of the underworld, and many a times Hades has nothing to do with it. People just go to his realm and people bully him to take the souls back, and it's like, bro, like, what do you want from me?
Bro, out of the three main siblings, Hades is like the chillest of the three of them.
He is the chillest. Honestly, the biggest villain in Greek mythology is Zeus.
I don't know what Poseidon does. I don't know what Poseidon's been doing, but I know that he's done some effed up crap, and Zeus just fuck anything that moves.
Yeah,
and
honestly,
Hades just does his job like he's supposed to. He loves his wife, and his wife loves him. Like, he's chill.
Yeah.
I mean,
people are just like, nah.
Like, but Hades is a bit of a vibe, though. He is a bit of a vibe.
Like the only. I mean, they're gods. Like, they.
Yeah, but
you do one or two bad things.
A little Stockholm syndrome makes the kidnapping not so bad.
Yeah, but also the thing about Hades is like, he isn't even the most fucked up character. But the most fucked up character in that story isn't even Hades. It's the fucking three witches, dude.
But the three witches that you refer to are actually a combination of two other groups of sisters.
I know, but like they're still more fucked up than Hades. Like, Hades is like he's a vibe, dude.
Yeah, and they honestly, and because I love Greek mythology, and Hercules is one of my favorite movies. But they just, if we were going by the actual Greek tale, they did not get Hercules' story right, like, almost at all.
Oh, but like, again, that's Disney in a nutshell. If they were to get all their stories right, their movies wouldn't have been PG.
Yeah,
like you know.
But the fact that he killed Scar and wore him as the Nemean lion.
Yeah,
You can see Scar's dead body get flopped to the floor.
Like some of the
It's
stuff
so messed up when
is
you
messed
think
up.
about it.
But okay,
You
so
actually killed Scar.
honorable
But
mention
yeah,
from
Hades is
Victor
my
is
honorable
Hades.
mention.
Gorm, who's an honorable mention? I think I know
Scar.
who you're gonna say. Yeah, Scar. Scar.
I'm
Alright.
surprised we didn't talk about Scar more, considering he's like pretty much the favorite Disney villain of.
But I feel like
yeah, but that's really like
we're not basic bitches
that'd
here
have
on
been
the
too
High Council
easy.
podcast. It's too easy.
Yeah, we're not.
We're not basic
I mean,
bitches.
he is a good villain. Don't get me wrong.
He's
Man.
amazing.
He just.
He's amazing. It's just everyone
Consider
picks
and
him.
also considering that The Lion King was literally like my favorite movie growing up. That and the second one, which looking back on it, the second one is hot garbage. But I loved it as a kid for some reason.
That's exactly how I felt about
What?
Brother Bear 2.
What?
It's hot garbage, but damn it, I still liked it.
Yeah, but you still love it. But I've watched Lion King 2 once. I have friends that didn't even know that it existed because it's trash, dude. But okay.
Do you know what? You know what people don't talk about? Lion King 1.5, and I saw that way more than I saw the original.
Wait, that's the one with like Timon and Pumbaa scrolling through the movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I fucking love that.
I watched that movie. I saw Lion King 1.5 more than I saw the original Lion King.
Yeah, same.
I know
same,
that movie better.
Same.
Dude, do you know that Disney Junior had a fucking show called The Lion Guard?
Yeah. It's that's hot garbage. It's hot garbage.
It rewrites Lion King canon to make it where Simba had a son after having Kiara.
Yeah, which does not make any sense.
But then they have to but then they work it around because I was curious because the show ended like about a couple years ago, or like I don't know how long ago it ended. I was curious at how it ended because I'm like, okay, they have to get rid of him because he obviously doesn't show up in the second one. And I think and I'm pretty sure how it ended is that he literally went somewhere else and married this person he met like on a journey or whatever. Like, dude literally became a hippie and left his family.
No. He did like lions he did like lions actually do. Like it's genuinely more accurate to how it works in real life.
Yeah, he left his pride and went to start his own.
And that is literally more accurate. Like, can I and to fuck up Lion King as well?
I'm gonna look this up right now while you guys talk about that.
No, but like your fucking boy Mufasa, like he is the father of every single lion cub in that tribe.
Yep.
So
he's the only male.
So I guess Scar, but who the fuck wants to be with him?
No one's gonna. He's not the alpha male.
So Nala and Simba,
they're siblings.
They're half siblings, dude.
Also, in the Lion Guard, one of the main villains is literally the ghost of Scar.
Oh yeah.
Are you serious? They dragged his dead corpse out of the blender.
Some of my brothers watched that when it went on TV, and I sat there like, "What the fuck this is horrible. This is trash. This is hot garbage, dude." But they enjoyed it. Like for kids, I guess this story was fucking great. But for anyone,
wait till they grow up and they try to watch it again. Like, what the hell?
Someone with a brain realizes that it's fucking garbage, dude.
Well, the funny thing is, I mean, everyone knows it at this point, and if you don't, Lion King is like a retelling of the Hamlet story from Shakespeare.
Yeah.
And the second one is the telling of Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah. But like again, like that's Disney in a nutshell. They take
Hamlet's
some other story and
is appraised as one of the best. Is like one of what's his name of Shakespeare's best works, because Shakespeare, even though Shakespeare's main shtick was comedy, like The Taming of the Shrew and stuff like that, like he was accounted to be a better comedy writer than a tragic writer. But funny enough, all of his tragic works got better appraisement than all of his comedy stuff. But still, those are like the main storylines of those two movies.
By the way, Shakespeare actually wore an earring. Anyways, all right. So Scar. So we got what? We got Scar, and then who did you say again, Victor?
I said
Hades. That's it. All right. I'm gonna throw in two, and I'm gonna see what you think about them. So one of them
cheating.
No, one of them is gonna be Jafar.
Okay,
And-
I can dig with that. Jafar's a pretty solid villain.
And then the other one, just because he's kind of a bit of a badass, and we did briefly touch on the movie, is Commander Lyle Tiberius from Atlantis.
I would say Jafar is a better villain.
Jafar is by far way
Jafar is
better villain compared to what's his name.
He's by far better, but I just wanted to throw Lyle in there as like a, because we were saying.
I mean,
yeah, that's like a short mention.
I'm not gonna lie, I don't really think he was the best villain because his entire thing was evil military man who's going to sell.
But that's the thing. That's the thing.
He was just a capitalist. That's all.
But he's one of the like OG, you know, like fucking evil military villain that has a motive and gets fucked over by hiring a young kid as his friend who as his like helper or whatever the fuck that ends up getting fucked by it.
Sorry, I like yawning like lately as hell for me.
Yeah,
I think what was better about the movie was the fact that literally all of them were in on it from the beginning.
Yeah.
Like every one of them was like, okay, yeah, I mean, to be fair, they didn't know there were supposed to be people down there, but they still kind of went along with it in the beginning. Yeah. And they were like, okay, yeah, screw this ancient civilization. We're gonna like let them die.
Yeah.
So we can have infinite power and be super rich.
But I mean, I really did like his like
okay, you know what?
Right hand woman. She was very, you know, very good.
I think his death was really cool too.
Yeah, his death was really cool. Like that's another thing. Like, and this is one thing that also I like with like good villains is if they're gonna die, don't make their death shite.
You know who else was I have a second honorable mention that's very related to that guy. Mm-hmm. I forget what his name is, but the dude from Tarzan.
Oh, his death. His death is brutal.
His death was the darkest. Is arguably the darkest death ever made by a Disney original. Dude literally got.
You can literally see his body hang in the shadows when the light flashes. Like,
bro,
you can easily. As a kid, you can miss that. I missed that as a kid because I didn't pay attention. Like, oh, where'd his body go?
As
I got older, I saw the flash. I'm like, oh my god.
That's not arguably the darkest. That is the darkest death.
I don't know. I don't know what's worse: falling into a pit of fire or getting hanged.
No, because in the pit of fire you don't see anything happen. Whilst with this motherfucker, you genuinely see everything.
I've never seen every single Disney movie ever made, so I don't know if there's any brutal deaths, but I can make a point that in a Disney movie, that is the most brutal death that he just
Clayton.
Clayton, that was his name.
Clayton. Yeah, Clayton's his name.
Yeah, I was like trying to think of it because I know like in the Disney, like in the original Tarzan and then in the live action movie is that Clayton was the name that Tarzan's father had, which then he took on when he became like human.
Yeah.
I was like,
yeah. The only thing is that that part of Tarzan is part of a show called The Greystokes.
Yeah.
Which is what Tarzan's family lineage came from, was the Greystokes.
Yeah. But like the thing about him, the reason it's so brutal is like when you see him afterwards, but also like
the lightning flash, you can see his body silhouette just hanging there.
Yeah.
Dude, that was so messed up.
Like his like insane rage before he dies, and then that just leads to his demise.
Him just
shit.
screaming in agony.
Yeah.
As he's cutting himself free, and Tarzan does nothing to stop him. He just lets that man. I mean, he did yell at him. He did yell at him to stop, but action-wise, he didn't do anything to help that man. He let him drop to the floor.
Like that's a great honorable mention, dude, because he is a fucking insane villain. And like his like turn from like a sane, but then also obviously a villain, to turning insane.
I think that whole entire movie was goated, especially the music, dude.
Oh,
Phil Collins.
I love. Honestly, Tarzan, Brother Bear, and Notre Dame are like. Or no, actually, like my top three Disney movies is Dinosaur 2000, Tarzan, and Brother Bear. Like and in that order, because I've seen them hundreds of times.
Fair enough.
And people don't
and
talk
then-
about Dinosaur 2000, and that upsets me. That hurts my feelings.
Wait, Dinosaur 2000?
Yeah, the movie is called Dinosaur. But
Oh wait,
it was
that
made in
the
year
one that came out in
2000.
2000.
Yeah, it's called. I reference it as Dinosaur 2000 because
Yeah.
that's the year it came out.
That's it's like CG animated, right?
Yeah, it's like gorgeous.
Yeah,
and I love it.
I actually remember. I have a book about that movie, dude. I also really it's not in my top 3, but I do like that movie. It's a really good movie.
I mean, that's what got me into dinosaurs as a child.
Fair enough. Oh my god, there's a photo of David Attenborough with the fucking characters from that movie. That is amazing. I love that.
Dude, honestly, that Clayton honorable mention, that is goated for real. Clayton was a really good villain.
Yeah.
That man straight up shot Kerchak, and oh my god.
That entire Tarzan is Tarzan is just a fucking goated movie, and the villain is also fucking brilliant.
Is the Legend of Tarzan like an official like live action? Like, does it fit in like in the canon of like the live action ones? Because honestly, that's the best.
I think it does.
That's the best live action Disney movie they've made yet.
And I believe that's the first one as well, isn't it? When it comes to those,
the one where
the Legend of Tarzan is where like he goes back to Africa.
Yeah, is that where the guy is like something Skarsgård plays him? Like one of the Skarsgård brothers.
Alexander, I believe it is.
Yeah, and like he has to fight the tribesmen and shit like that.
Yeah.
Like, honestly,
Margot Robbie plays Jane. You know.
Yeah, Margot.
I thought that was an okay movie. I think.
But
Sorry, yawning.
It's definitely the best out of all of the live action Disney movies.
I would say it's better than Disney's freaking.
Because it wasn't a remake of the original. It like focused more on. It's
the continuation of it.
The only one is the live act. The Legend of Tarzan is the movie retelling that Mulan tried to be.
Yeah, and Mulan failed and died.
Can I just say I have not watched the Mulan movie yet. Anyway,
I haven't either, and I won't do it off
the reason why I will never watch it is because they don't have Mushu.
Nope, that's grounds enough alone.
That's literally the only reason why I will never watch it.
That or Be a Man.
Yeah,
fair enough,
they don't have. They like hum it a little bit, but they don't. And honestly, Shang-Chi, is that his name? Like the Huntsman.
Shang-Chi.
Is that his name?
That's a Marvel character.
That's the Marvel dude.
Yeah. What's the Mongol leader in Mulan?
I know who you're talking about.
I know, but I don't remember. And we don't have much time.
He didn't get that much screen time. He didn't get that much screen time, but dude, he was a badass. He literally shot. He left 2 people alive and then got his archer and literally, in the coldest line possible, said, "How many people does it take to deliver a message?" With 2 people running, and the archer said 1, and it's deeply implied that one of those archers got bodied. And he literally killed. He literally massacred a whole army of Chinese men.
Yeah.
Come on. That is a goated villain.
Yeah, but then Mulan bodied his entire army in an avalanche, so it was an equal trade-off.
Yeah.
It was an equal trade-off, but that's still a formidable villain. And he was 7'3" and built like a mountain.
We don't have a lot of time, but we can all agree that if Legend of Tarzan is part of the fucking the live action movies, then it's definitely the best. The only one that has an argument is The Lion King, but that's literally just a retelling of the original one, just live action.
That's so that the same movie.
That one doesn't count.
Same movie, and you can watch the animated.
That movie should never have been made.
You are right. And then my honorary mention is Jafar. Gorm's, yours was
Scar and Clayton.
Yes, and then your boy Vector, your honorable mention was indeed
Hades.
There we fucking go. Right, so we've had our characters, we've had our honorable mentions. This took us an hour and 40 minutes approximately. I'll remove 5 from it. I'll have to remove 5 because we sat here talking for about 5 minutes before. So an hour and 35 minutes it took us to talk about 3 people and also half a dozen movies. So that's what we get here. We go off the rails, but I hope and I assume that's the reason why people stay and people keep coming back, and that is because we make it funny. And it's always interesting when we go off the rails because like it's relatable in a sense. It's like, oh yeah, I never thought of that. Or I didn't think, because like I've gotten a few messages here and there, mostly from people that we do know, but there's still like, with most people, it's like, oh, it's annoying when they go off the rails. But with us, it's always relatable. It's either something that they would also have thought about, or it's like whatever the fuck, right? So it's never bad when we do it. Not yet, at least. Not with the very honest reports that we have gotten back, and I can guarantee you they are honest because I have some that have been like, yeah, I didn't like this episode, but hey yo, still love you guys, still love most of the other episodes. So people are honest with me when they talk to me, so that is always great to hear. Thank you all so much for listening to another episode of the High Council Podcast, episode 17. We're only 3 away from episode 20, and episode 20 is going to be really, really special. The next podcast is it's going to be 1 out of 2. Now, Vector knows about one of them, but I haven't told him about the other one yet. Or I kind of have, but not the fact that it's probably going to be the next one. And the one
I know what the other one is.
Do you?
Every 2 minutes we take a shot, and last person still awake wins.
Jesus.
Just see how long the podcast goes. Every 3 minutes we take a shot of Tito's.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
No, that is not happening. But Vector, what I'm thinking is that next episode, if we don't get the fucking scrap one next, then we'll do that one as number 19. But then with number 18 is going to be the second episode of the High Council Duels.
Oh,
and
yes,
but this time I'm not gonna fucking
You're not
fall
gonna get
back.
bodied because you had no argument.
No. I'm not gonna get bodied because I had 2 stubborn motherfuckers against me. Because if you guys weren't as stubborn, I would have had shit ton of arguments to beat the shit out of you guys with Beerus. But because I had you, I was like, there's no need for me to even say anything, because you're 2 biased people that are just gonna say, no, Flair, shut up. So therefore, I
would
submitted.
have. I mean, in my job at that point in time was to defend my argument as much as possible, even though I was probably wrong, and I know I was wrong. I had to fight to the death.
I do find it funny that like I only picked like the most OP fucking villains.
Yeah, we should really limit the capacity of people.
No, like, you know, let's see, I believe I had Beerus, I had Darth Nihilus, I think.
You had Nihilus.
I had
Beyonder.
I think I had Red Death Flash, I had Beyonder.
No, I had
I had Shazam.
Yeah, you had
Shazam.
Yeah, you had Shazam, and we tied on that one.
Yeah, we tied on that one.
Jesus. Even though I think Red Death Flash would have been better, but it's fine.
Yeah. Jesus. But okay.
Yeah, dude, we argued about that.
That was the longest one. It was probably the best one.
We argued about that case for a long time.
But that's because it was worth arguing about, because there wasn't really there wasn't really like a stuck on answer.
About it.
Right.
I looked him up like 10 minutes before the podcast, and I argued my life away.
Yeah, but the thing is, I already knew a lot about him because I read the comics with him. But okay, anyways, thank you all for listening to another episode of Off the Rails podcast. The Off Topic podcast. The High Council podcast. This has been amazing.
Indeed.
Thank you, Gorm, for popping in. It's been a real treat to have you on, matey.
Thanks. Thank you for having me, sir.
Anytime. Vector, thank you for coming on for another episode. I mean, it is technically your job to come on, so it's been a bit lackluster with Guy lately, but he's had a lot to do, so he's gonna come back on at some point. Deadpool might come back as a special guest. For those of you who don't know, Deadpool's not part of the podcast anymore. He's kind of off doing his own thing, and he's moved, and he's had a lot of stuff to do, so he's kind of left the podcast, but he's always welcome as a special guest. Kamikaze, you know him, you love him. He's been here a bunch. He's gonna be here even more. And whatever the next episode is, we're probably gonna have a full fucking squad, and hopefully it's a very conspiratorial episode with Scrap, Kami, Vector, and I. That's the 4 people gonna run that, and that's who's gonna keep on running that series. That's how we're gonna keep that going. And then Gorm, hopefully we can get you on the High Council duels, dude. That would be awesome.
Yeah, for sure.
And obviously then it's going to be a bit different. Last time we had, what do we have? We had Star Wars, DC, Marvel, and anime. This time it might only be Star Wars, maybe only anime. We'll see what we end up doing, and then we'll go within categories within that. It's going to be great. So again, thank you all so much for listening or watching this episode of the High Council Podcast. Have a fucking great one. Vector, do you want to, the thing?
Oh, yes. I have a very special one today.
It better be fucking good, dude. Because you have a lot of fucking choices related to this episode that you could choose.
Oh, yeah. I have been thinking about this for the whole podcast.
Brilliant.
So, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't already, subscribe to the podcast. Get us on Spotify. Get us on SoundCloud. Find us out on Twitch. If you don't do any of that lovely stuff to support this awesome group, then I am going to have to send the demon from Fantasia on you.
Jesus. If you don't know Fantasia, Google it, and you might end up being scared. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's pretty, yeah. Imagine, like, I'm not even going to spoil it. Just fucking Google Fantasia. He's got a pretty good threat there, guys, so you might as well just listen to him. Just saying. But again, thank you all so much. It's been amazing. It's been a pleasure, and all I have to say is peace out.